At the heart of the CIA allegations about Russian interference, in quotes, in the U.S. election lies their finding that they believe that Putin wanted Trump to win and intervened in the U.S. election, which is to say put out propaganda rather than any hacking, in order to try to help Trump win the nomination. First of all, let's just clarify that what Putin did was to release the emails that American elected officials sent to other elected officials that they attempted to hide from the American people. There's no indication that any of those were not correct or were forgeries. But why did Putin care that Trump win? And the answer is very clear: China. Putin is sitting there with a neighbor that hates him, with 6 times or 7 times the population, 5 times the size of the economy, 5 times the GDP, whereas Russia is an economy almost wholly dependent on oil and gas, which makes it as vulnerable to fluctuations in the world supply as Saudi Arabia is. China has a booming economy with high-tech sectors and a tremendous capability that the Russians can only dream about. So Putin needs allies against China. And by the way, so does Trump. Trump is confronting a country that is almost single-handedly causing the economic problems we have in the United States, with a trade deficit of $400 billion in a GDP of 18 trillion, a tremendous drain on our economy. And they do it not by outcompeting us, but by manipulating their currency so as to undercut us. And at the same time, they're then using the money that they get from this trade surplus to build up their military and undermine us in the South China Sea and other places on the globe. And particularly of interest, boots and shovels in the ground, a canal to compete with the Panama Canal across Nicaragua. And all they have to do is make their canal a little wider than the Panama Canal, and boats will be built to that spec, and the Panama Canal will be out of business. And the Monroe Doctrine, the core of American foreign policy for 200 years, will be a thing of the past. So Trump needs Putin, and Putin needs Trump to go against China. So why doesn't anybody see that? Why is everybody acting as if Trump just has a soft spot for Putin, or is making some money off Russia and turning a blind eye to Putin's aggression in the Baltic states and in Ukraine? Because much of the journalistic lobby, much of the political community, much of the lobbying community is beholden to China. They're part of the China lobby, and they're sent out to do battle on behalf of China. And China is determined to try to veer Trump away from the course that he set in the campaign, which could lead to a confrontation with China. China knows that in any confrontation with the U.S., it's horribly disadvantaged. China sells us about $60 billion a year. We buy from them over $400 billion a year. So if a trade war is going to ensue, who's going to be hurt? And any harm to the United States would be that goods at Walmart cost a little more. The harm to China would be that its whole economy is wiped out and its political hierarchy destabilized. Grievous, serious harms to China. So China has to try to deflect Trump off its course. And it's pulling out all the stops to try to portray Trump as the puppet of Putin. But the fact of the matter is that what Trump is doing is reverse engineering what Richard Nixon did. He reached out to China to make common cause with China against Russia to limit Russian assistance to North Vietnam and wind down the Vietnam War. Brilliant move. It ultimately worked. And what Trump is doing is just simply reverse engineering that, making common cause with Russia to limit Chinese economic and military power. Brilliant strategy by Trump, and fully appropriate, and Trump should not be criticized for this. He should be praised. Thanks for watching.